I'm Annie, and this is my 2019 Ram ProMaster 2500. I've been living in it with my dog for the past 2 years, and we're gonna do a tour. Let's get into it. All right, we're gonna start with the exterior, and the first thing is the roof rack. I have an 80/20 roof rack and 4 100-watt solar panels. I have KO2 all-terrain tires so that I can go into the snow and not be so worried. I also put tire chains on. And this is so that I can go skiing and snowboarding. I had this window installed so that I could have more ventilation. I also have a fan and a skylight, but I wanted to be able to see out, especially if it's raining outside or it gets cold. Now I don't have to open the slider to look out and have more light coming into the van. All right, so that's the exterior, and now we're gonna go inside. From what you can see, this is the end of my kitchen counter. I wanted to do the removable water system so that I can fill this wherever I want. I can fill it with a hose, I can fill it with a water fountain. I can carry them and bring them into water stores and have drinking water and just be more conservative with my, dishwashing water. Then I also have a pop-up countertop. This is a countertop that I cut from an IKEA countertop, and I had extra to add this extension, so I have a lot of counter space in here now. And I feel like if I'm parked up with friends, I could make pancakes and dish them out from here. And then you just click these two and it goes back down. On both of my seats, I added these storage organizers just for extra space. Generally on the passenger side of the vehicle, I have all of Brigham, my dog's things. So there's a lot of storage underneath where I have his toys. And then through here, I have a bunch of shoes. I put down coin mat, and then there's little shoe holders on the back of this bench seat so I can slide in pairs of shoes. And then in the middle section, I have his dog food, and his dog bed rests on top. So he's got a lot of space up there. And then I have additional storage on the back here. Maybe I'm reading, want a reading light, umbrella, things like that. And then I also have this storage shelf that was part of the van, didn't have to add it with the Ram ProMaster. And I just have laundry things, more dog stuff like poop bags. I have my camp stove up there as well, and the bags for window shades. Here is my mini L-shaped couch. I decided to make it difficult for myself to get into the front because I wanted a longer couch here so that I could lay with my legs up and look out my window or with the door open. And then also in this middle section of the couch is the table portion. I just used basically contact paper that looked similar to the countertop. And then this would go on a swivel mount on this Lagoon mount that pretty much every van lifer has. And that would work here so that I can sit here and do work on my laptop. And then this bin is all for coffee stuff. So I have a coffee maker and a bunch of coffee in here, and you can sit on it. So it's an extra chair. And then up here are my upper cabinets that are on gas struts, and they also have locks. So for these ones is all a bunch of clothes, and I have little shelves in there, and then these pop out with more storage underneath or behind. And then I have all of my girly, whoa, that's supposed to happen, right? All of the toiletries here, and then they lock. Here I have my truck fridge. Ta-da! And it goes with my matte black paint on my cabinets. And then I have a tiny cabinet door here with all my little stickers. I'm missing a bunch. And then moving over the cabinet, I added this little shelf for paper towels, and I added toilet paper there too. This painting that I did at a recent van event, so now I'm just putting that there every day. And then switches. So I have the household outlets that I can turn on with this switch here, wait till it turns green, and then I can use my induction cooktop. And then I added cigarette lighter outlets as well as the USB outlets, just in case, I don't know, if USB goes out of style one day. And then all of my lights are on dimmers except for the one under the bed, because I didn't think I needed mood lighting when I'm working on my electrical. So I can dim. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. Okay. This is my sink pump, water pump, so I can turn this on and have water. here. And then this is the light for this part of the bed. So I have different switches for these two versus these two. And moving over to the bedside table, this is similar to the other table that was for the dinette. Contact paper coming apart a little bit, but I could easily recover that. And then I used a window latch here, and I attached a piece of wood to the front of like an Amazon wheeling cart. So I have more storage in here. Oh, and I haven't talked about these switches over here. I have my battery monitor. I have the light switch for the over the head part of the bed lights. More outlets, so USB and 12 volt, USB and cigarette lighter, sorry. And then another household outlet, 120 volt right here. And then I also have my controller for my heater. So I have it with Velcro on the back so I could take it out because there's a light on it that kind of lights up and can be distracting when you are actually using it. So I'll put it in a sock or something when I'm using it, and then I can stick it back up there. It's a Webasto heater, and it actually pulls from my gas tank, not diesel, so I don't have to carry any additional type of gas that I wouldn't normally use. So I didn't want to have to add a tank and storage somewhere and worry about that. This just pulls out of my gas tank. And it has a threshold, so it won't go under, so I'll never be left where I can't drive away. I can always still drive, it'll just stop working. And the heat comes out of this bench right here. Not ideal. This is one of the things I didn't install myself. I would not have my heater facing and pointing right at my fridge, ideally. I wanted another bench pointed towards the bed. But hey, it's there now. Okay. I can access the garage here. I put curtains on one of these tracks. I have the same track in the back and also behind the two front seats to have curtains added. And this way I can access anything I want under here. Normally when my garage area is full, I have a bin here that has winter things. I want to be able to access my winter boots from here and not have to open the back doors to put on like my ski boots, I realized. And also I can access my tire chains there too. And then normally I have another bin for coffee, another coffee maker. I have an espresso maker too. So I usually use that more often, and that goes there. And I put this piece of wood just to keep anything from sliding out into the living space when I'm driving, and I can pick that up. And if I need to, I can access my electrical, which is on the driver's side of the van, just down there. Welcome to my full-size bed. I thought I was gonna have to cut it, but it magically fit. I added these bump outs to help and give me a couple extra inches for the bed. It does have insulation behind it. I have Havelock wool throughout the van for insulation, including the floor. And I did put just a thinner layer here and on the headboard, but I still gained a lot of space here. And you can put the pillow in there as well. And I have the cabinets over the foot of the bed. I know that most curbs slant downward, so if I'm parking on the street, I don't want to have my head under my feet. Always have your head higher, so I only have the cabinets on this side. Here's where I have more clothes, and I also put my little tablet here so I can watch Netflix in bed. And it sticks right there, and then I have pajamas underneath. And then on this side I have more clothes. This is like the pants zone, bottoms and pajamas, more like the stuff I don't have to think that much about when I grab them, whereas I want to have better access to my tops so I can have more thought. Above me, I have a skylight. The skylight opens with a future intention of being able to climb out there to sit on maybe a tiny roof deck or what have you. And it has a built-in bug screen and a built-in shade. So I always close the shade when I'm sleeping so that I'm in the dark. These back windows came with the vehicle. They don't open, but I did add these insulated window covers. And then I added some curtains to make it more homey so it doesn't look as much like a van. See, now it's way more cozy in here. And these are also on a similar track. This is my tiny bookshelf that currently doesn't have any books in it. And I also keep like mace and things like that and like a temperature monitor so I can tell how cold it is in here. And then I also left some space behind it. It's the perfect size for a can if I want to have, I don't know, a beer in bed or something. These are my kitchen cabinets. So in here, I have my induction cooktop with my only pan. So even if I'm boiling water for like pastas and stuff, I only use this because I'm just one person. And I also have my mug collection in the bottom. On this side, it's just more food, and I stuffed in like a bag of like Brigham's treat stuff. So that's like just food stuff, dry storage, and utensils and things like that. And that's pretty much it. Okay, so let's talk about why I started van life. First of all, I didn't want to pay rent. Rent's really expensive, and I was living in San Diego at the time, and there are a ton of vans in San Diego, so I was very inspired. Talked myself in and out of it for a few years before finally pulling the trigger and getting the van. And at first I was actually torn on building it out myself or hiring builders, but once seeing the price point of hiring builders and then also knowing that they wouldn't include the van was out of the question. So I decided that I wanted to take on the challenge of building out this space myself. I didn't have any experience with power tools prior to starting. So the first thing I did was cut the hole for the fan in the roof, and I was like, I couldn't get down the ladder right away. I was buzzing. I was really excited about it, and I just felt so empowered learning each step. I really loved doing the woodworking, and even though I procrastinated starting electrical, I eventually really enjoyed that step too. It became more about adventure and having stories in my life and having experiences and not living just to have my life be my resume as opposed to just saving money, but that's obviously still a perk. And so it was something that was meant to happen. I lost my job, I got laid off, and if I still had rent to pay, I would have really been struggling. Thankfully, I had this van. I was able to go, travel, see family, have more experiences with my dog too. Okay, let's talk about why I chose a ProMaster. First of all, I've been living in this for 2 years and I have no regrets with the ProMaster. I don't know why I said it like that. ProMaster. ProMaster. First of all, it is wide, so I could do the bed widthwise, so I could have more living space. That was a big reason why I chose it. Another reason was I liked that you sit kind of high in the front. I like to feel like I'm sitting up high. I don't want to feel like I'm sitting low like a normal car, but have this whole house in tow. That kind of felt odd in other options. I also like how it looks out, like from the outside. But yeah, it's been a very reliable vehicle. I've had just normal maintenance done on it, new brakes, new battery, but nothing too crazy, nothing out of the ordinary. I've been very lucky. One thing I wish someone told me before I started this was to not wait. I think that's my only regret, is I wish I started earlier. I really was debating it for a few years. I ended up buying another car, and then after I bought that other car, I was like, nope, I don't want this long-term safe Subaru forever lifestyle. I want the van. And so I lost a little bit of money, but I think just go for it, get those memories and experiences as soon as possible. Also, it's never too late. I don't regret doing it now and going forward, but I do wish I'd started sooner and to not have doubted myself and just gone for it. Let's talk about going to the bathroom. I use a Shiwi, so that's like a lady funnel, and so I am empowered to pee wherever the hell I want to. So I will just use that to pee into like a finished water jug or an iced tea jug or something like that, and then empty it in like a public restroom. There's a lot of beach restrooms in San Diego, so that's convenient, but make sure I'm disposing of it properly. And then for number 2, if there's an emergency, I do have a fold out like toilet seat, and I have like the, what's it called? Bags, like trash bags that you use specifically for this act, and dispose of those properly. But generally I am using Planet Fitness and like public places for going to the bathroom. Showers. So yeah, showers for Planet Fitness. public places for the bathroom. And then I have running water, you know, so I can wash my face and wash my hands and stay clean in that sense on like for the daily things. But yeah, and I haven't had any trouble with that. I think it forces you to go to the gym. I don't always work out because I'm lazy, but it's just like an extra step. And I think that's another thing that you have to keep in mind is there's going to be extra steps to your life, or things that were easy or taken for granted before are going to be more lengthy, or like have some extra time baked into anything you do. And that includes like when you want to take a shower. So if I wake up one day and I'm like, oh, I feel gross. Well, now I have to think about where's the nearest Planet Fitness to shower, or maybe park near one when you know you're going to need it. So for water, I keep 1 7-gallon, I think it's 7 or 5 gallon, 7? What are those?
7.
7. I keep 1 7-gallon jug connected to my sink and 1 7-gallon gray. And then I also keep a storage of 2 additional 7-gallon clean water tanks in my garage that I can access. So I'll fill all those up and then I can cycle it out. Also, I don't know if I want to talk about this, but I do have a quick disconnect on my fresh water, which is really easy. So I can just press a button and I don't have to like undo all the tubing or anything, just disconnect it. It's right on the lid and then go fill it. And then for power, I have 2 100 amp hour lithium batteries and 4 100 watt solar panels on the roof. And I can also charge when I drive. I'm still Annie, and you can find me on Instagram at vanny.life, and that's VANNIE.life. I know, it's kind of cringe. Thank you for checking out my van.